Hi, thank you for checking out our video for starting a new student organization. My name is Clarissa May Columbus. I'm the Student Engagement Coordinator for Recognized Student Organizations, and part of my job is overseeing 350 student organizations and making sure they're in compliance. My supervisor is Nancy Lynn. She uses she, her, hers pronouns, and she's the Associate Director for Student Involvement. So what we're going to be talking about today is some considerations before starting a new student organization, general expectations, what are the benefits of being recognized, the steps for recognition, and then once you're recognized, what does event planning, money management, and what are your campus resources? So just to kind of give a quick overview of what is student involvement, we have 4 different areas in our office: leadership development programs, campus programs, student organizations, and fraternity and sorority life. Leadership development programs is basically our emerging leaders program, our Spartan Leadership and Career Conference, the National Society of Leadership and Success, and the Leadership Opportunities Catalog. Our emerging leaders program are for our first year and transfer students. Our Spartan Leadership and Career Conference is a one-day conference where students are able to interact with employers and learn about their leadership styles. The National Society of Leadership and Success is where it's a student organization for leadership. And then our leadership opportunities catalog can be found on our website, and it's different opportunities and ways to get involved while learning more about leadership. Our campus programs is basically events that bring together the whole campus community. And so this includes our weeks of welcome, our Spartan speaker series, finals programming, and basically more. Our student organizations, so we have 5 different types of recognized student organizations. They are academic, cultural, religious, special interests, sports clubs, and fraternities and sororities. And then lastly, our fraternity and sorority life, we have 40 organizations across 4 councils ranging in size from 5 members all the way to 80 members per organization. And it's basically a unique community where you're able to find friendship and siblinghood. You're probably wondering where student involvement is. And so our office can be found in the Student Union. We are across from Jamba Juice, and we are in the same space between the Black Leadership and Opportunity Center, known as the Block, and the Chicanx Latinx Student Success Center. Um, Basically, if you see on this slide, you can see the campus map, but also the picture where you see student involvement. That is where our office is. So yeah, some things to consider before starting a new organization is first off is just seeing like what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So we have over 350 student organizations, and so being sure you check out the current list, and if there are similar organizations, our office and student involvement can help support in making that connection. You can find a list of our organizations on the Sani app. Typically, it's always important to think, like what is the why? And so maybe naming that out will help. So, thinking about why you want to start a new organization, it takes a lot of time and, a lot of passion. For example, you could be passionate about a cause or maybe something is missing on campus, but you might not know or realize that there are resources or community agencies that can do the work for it. And so again, just reaching out to our office and asking, hey, does so-and-so organization exist? And we can help, again, make that connection. Other things to think about is, does it make sense in determining, what you want to be a student organization, and is it sustainable? Um, does it, is it going to be an active organization long after I graduate? And that's always important to think about. And so that's just, the longevity of it. And are other students interested? Do you have that support? And what does your commitment look like? So the general expectations that we have for our student organizations is that they are positive contributors to overall the San Jose State community. We expect that our organizations abide by the following. And so our fraternities and sororities, they have the Greek management manual, and then student organizations have the student organization handbook. And then in the Office of Student Conduct and Ethical Development, we have the Student Conduct Code as well as the Student Organization Conduct Code. We also follow what the California State University executive orders are and the California and federal laws. Something I do want to note is that the California State University executive orders is not just, oh, San Jose State needs to follow it. It's something that all 23 campuses across the CSU needs to follow. And so you're probably wondering, what are the benefits of being a recognized student organization? And so when you're recognized, you're able to book tabling spaces on 7th Street Plaza. You're also able to book spaces in classrooms and the student union through event services. Within Associated Students, you have access to a bank account through the General Services Center, and you're able to request for funding through Associated Students. And then in student involvement, you're able to receive leadership consultations and advising from student involvement. And so some things to know in terms of being a recognized student organization is that organizations must be student ran and that recognition must be renewed annually during spring semester. Presidents are usually the ones who coordinate recognition steps, and the change of officer needs to be updated within student involvement in order to maintain recognition. And so we ask that if anytime the president or the treasurer changes, that you let our office know. And so these are the steps for being recognized. So again, step one is attending a new student organization presentation. So thank you for watching this video. And then we'll go through the other steps in full detail. So again, step one is attending or viewing a new student organization presentation. The second step is to submit the application to be a recognized student organization. And so some things to note about the application is that there is a third-party vendor for re-recognition. And so once you submit your application, your organization's profile will be in pending status. Your new organization will be viewable on the SJSU SAMI app under the groups and clubs tiles after all the requirements have been verified. And so in this slide, this is basically what you're looking at right now is the application when you open it. And so as you can see, there is a quick checklist of making sure you have a constitution and other officers and members and just essential information that our office needs. The third step is that student involvement verifies the application for meeting the minimum student organization requirements. And so the minimum requirements that we have is that we verify membership eligibility, we verify officer eligibility, advisor eligibility, and constitution. And so membership eligibility is a minimum of 5 members, and these 5 members have to be SJSU students who are matriculated and enrolled in SJSU. Matriculated means that students are attending classes and seeking a degree, which means they pay student fees. A common question that our office always gets asked is, can graduate students join an organization or start an organization? And the answer is yes. As long as you are a matriculated student, you are able to be a member or start your own club. So officer eligibility, again, I want to emphasize that we track presidents and treasurers for CSU Executive Order 1068. Again, CSU executive orders are not just SJSU followed, but it's across all 23 campuses. The president and treasurer need to have a minimum 2.0 institution SJSU GPA and a 2.0 previous term GPA from fall or spring semester. And then they also need to be currently enrolled in at least 6 units if they are an undergraduate student. And if they are currently in a graduate program, be enrolled in 3 units. Another requirement that we have is that making sure our student organization leaders have completed over 150 units or 125% of the units needed for their major. And lastly, be in good judicial standing with the university as confirmed by the Office of Student Conduct and Ethical Development. And lastly, all officers need to be current members. I do want to point out that once you send the application in to us, we do check the GPA, we do check enrollment, and then how many units. We also take the names and IDs and we send it over to Student Conduct and Ethical Development, where they check the judicial standing and let us know if officers are eligible. So advisor eligibility, basically full-time SJSU faculty or staff member are eligible to be an advisor for an RSO. Currently, advisors cannot be an employee of an SJSU auxiliary department. And so our auxiliary departments are listed out on this slide. It is Associated Students, Spartan Eats, Student Union, Research Foundation, Tower Foundation, and Spartan Bookstore. And the Office of Student Involvement verifies all the advisors to make sure that they are in compliance with this. We also want to make sure that advisors are able to serve as campus security authorities, and they are required to complete an online module through the SJSU Clery office. Our expectations of advisors is that they continue to provide context and continuity from year to year, that they commit to providing direction and support for your organization, and that advisors should intervene only to prevent the violation of SJSU policy, the Student Code of Conduct, or the Student Organization Code of Conduct. If advisors have any questions or comments or concerns, they are more than welcome to contact our Office of Student Involvement, and we can help work with them. So the Constitution, again, is another part of your application to be a recognized student organization. And so there is mandatory language that needs to be in your Constitution. This includes membership being composed of at least 5 current SJSU students, including the president and treasurer. And the second bullet point is eligibility for membership or appointed on or elected student officer positions shall not be limited on the basis of race, religion, national origin, eligibility, color, age, gender, gender identity, marital status, citizenship, sexual orientation, or disabilities. This second clause right here is very important to have. That is something that we look at when we look at club applications. And the third bullet point is this organization shall comply with Title V, Section 41301, Standards for Student Conduct. And then we also include a guide or example constitution that you are able to copy and use as you're creating your constitution as well. Other things to note about the Constitution, it should also include your purpose, mission, and vision of your organization, as well as the outline for your elections, the structure and the responsibilities of every officer, along with the process for making amendments. Again, when you submit an application to be a new student organization, the application will ask you to upload a copy of your Constitution. The fourth step is to complete the Student Org Leaders Canvas course. And so there is important information for organizational operations and for managing risk in this Canvas course. The president and treasurer are required to complete the course with 2 weeks of being added. Advisors are not required to complete this, but they can be added if they want to be in the Canvas course. At the end of each module, there is a quiz, and when you take the quiz, you need to score a 100% on each quiz. This screenshot is an example and just the actual modules that we have for the Canvas course for student organization leaders. And so again, some content that's covered in the Canvas course includes community standards, club officers, Title IX, hazing, events and spaces on campus, finance and bank accounts, funding, marketing, and the SAMI app, along with alcohol and social events. Each module has a quiz at the end where you have to score 100%. And if you need extra attempts, then you can email our office and we can help manage that. The last step is personally my favorite step. It's where you receive your recognition letter and receive access to campus resources. Basically, what happens in this step is that you receive a letter from studentorgs@sjsu.edu. The people that receive this email is the president, treasurer, and advisor. And once you're recognized, your organization name, along with all the essential contact information, is added to our roster, and this roster and information is shared with our Student Union Event Services, our Associated Students General Services Center, Student Conduct and Ethical Development, and Facilities Development and Operations. And the reason why we share this information with these campus partners is because, say, for example, you are the president of a club and you want to book space in the student union. The people in event services want to make sure that, you know, it is a verified club, you are the officer, and we just want to make sure that, you know, it's the right people doing these things and someone that shouldn't be doing it. And so these are some resources for events and meetings. If you are trying to book space, you can do that through event services. You can book space in the student union, campus spaces, including classrooms. And then if you say, for example, want to have food at your event, we do have Spartan Eats. They are our on-campus catering. If you want to bring food off campus, Event Services has a comprehensive list of off-campus caterers. In classrooms, you are able to bring food. However, in the student union, you have to be approved. You have to be able to use approved vendors, and that's a list that you can find from Event Services. And then for your money management, Associated Students General Services Center is where you would go for your bank account. They're located in the east side of the student union, on the side where the ATMs are near transportation services. They, if you are trying to access your bank account, just know that you can always Google AS General Services Center, and there is some paperwork you do need to fill out. And then for associated students, there is the finance committee where you're able to request for funding. Just to note that if you are requesting for under $1,000, that the AS controller can approve or deny at their discretion. However, if it is over $1,000, then you would have to present your proposal or your request to the finance committee, and they would vote as a finance committee whether or not to approve it. So again, I just want to emphasize that you are able to request for up to $2,700 for the academic year. You can use the money on a performer, travel, research, conferences, uniforms, t-shirts, publicity, venues. All these programs have to be open to all SJSU students. You can go on the funding, on the AS funding website where the application process is done online. And again, under $1,000, the AS controller decides. And if it's over $1,000, the AS controller has to bring it to the finance committee. Other ways of getting financial support for student organizations includes the Tower Foundation. And so Tower Foundation is a part of University Advancement. There is, for example, Giving Tuesday, and then there is Crowdfunding SJSU. Crowdfunding SJSU is similar to GoFundMe. However, this is with the university. And from what I understand, that you as a club or a research group, you're able to raise money and you would be able to keep the funding, and that funding would go into your bank account. Other websites, other platforms, if you do try to raise money there, they do take an administrative fee. That's not the case with Crowdfunding SJSU. And then some general miscellaneous items is that you may not use San Jose State University or SJSU at the beginning of your club name. So for example, if you want to start a Sailor Moon Club, it can't be San Jose State University Sailor Moon Club or SJSU Sailor Moon Club. It could, however, be Sailor Moon Club at SJSU or Sailor Moon Club, San Jose State University. If you host meetings, making sure that it's in an accessible location on and off campus. Any unpaid university bills may lead to the suspension of privileges. So for example, if you don't pay, if you book space or if you book parking spaces for guests and you don't pay that bill to the university, you might be suspended of being able to book spaces and stuff. RSOs are run not for profit and may not be financially benefit to any member or officer. And lastly, just making sure that your organization is a positive contributor to the overall SJSU community. And then lastly, some campus resources, so student success centers and academic offices. So a lot of our academic clubs are usually tied closely to our student success centers and academic offices. There is the Humanities and the Arts Student Success Center, Engineering Student Success Center, College of Health and Human Sciences Success Center, Access, and academic offices like the dean's offices or faculty, and then the Black Leadership Opportunity Center, El Centro Chicanx Latinx Student Success Center, and the Center for Asian Pacific Islander Empowerment and Mosaic are spaces for our cultural and religious organizations where to find space within each other and see that space for collaboration. The event services office is located in the second floor of the student union, where students are able to book spaces and tables for they can book tabling space in 7th Street Plaza. And then the career center is located in the administration building. And it's a good way to connect to future employers, readiness resources, and job fairs. And if you have any questions, you can contact us at studentorgs@sjsu.edu. You can find us in the student union. Again, thank you for watching this video. Once you've watched this video, you can go ahead and email us at studentorgs@sjsu.edu, and we'll send you the link for the application. Thank you.